Hello, I'm Don Phipps, Superintendent of the Caldwell County Schools, and I'll be your host today for this episode of Caldwell County Schools Profiles. I have two special guests that will be joining me today, the Honorable Mayor Joe Gibbons from the City of Lenoir, North Carolina, and Shelley Bowen, the Executive Director of Robin's Nest Child Advocacy Center. And to start off, Joe is here with me on the set, and we want to talk, Joe, about the Caldwell County Schools Wall of Honor. But first of all, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps.
And I know we could talk about a lot of things, from events going on in Lenoir to Appalachian State football.
We could do all of that. We could make 2 or 3 shows out of that.
We certainly could. But today we're going to talk about the Wall of Honor. Can you tell our viewers what exactly that is if they're not aware?
Well, one, it's the Hall of Honor, and we are honored to have that. It's what it is it's graduates of our school system here in Caldwell County who have gone on to do great things in their life. And so what's happens is that we formed this in 2003 to recognize those graduates from our school system who have done so many great things in their life. And it's like the Hall of Fame, but we call it the Caldwell County Schools Hall of Honor. And we've had 19 classes that we've now inducted, over 87, I think, inductees that are part of that. As I said, formed in 2003. So it's exciting. It's just fun to be able to recognize those each year and remember the things that all these did when they were not only growing up here, but went off to do great things, maybe here in Lenoir, Caldwell County, or maybe somewhere else. But we're excited for it.
And the group of alumni, if I can call them that,
yes,
represent all walks of life.
All walks of life, yes, sir. We have doctors, lawyers, we have educators, political people. We have all kinds that are part of the Hall of Honor.
And the Wall of Honor, which I mentioned, and we have at the Ed Center, it also exists at each of our schools. So the plaques that are awarded are taken home by the family member, and also there's one that's placed in a specific location. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, what we do each year when the inductee, the nominee and then becomes inductee, goes into the Hall of Honor, we always ask them, where would you like for a plaque to be placed? Which school would you like? And they'll always pick one of the schools that they went through. It might be their elementary school, maybe their middle school, or their high school that they attended and graduated from here in Caldwell County. So we put a plaque up. We want the kids to see what can happen as they move forward in their life, as they go through our school system and have a chance to become part of great things and be a part of a Hall of Honor. That's something they have a chance to look up to.
And all of those honorees are represented in the Ed Center.
Yes, they are. We have the Hall of Honor is here at the Ed Center we call it the Hall of Honor Hall that we have, and all the inductees, the plaques are there on the walls for people to come and see and enjoy. And I told Libby we're running out of room in there because we're going to have to expand. Either going to have to expand the center here, or do something else and find another place, because we're getting a lot of great people into
Which is
it.
A great problem.
It's a great problem to have. Yes,
what about criteria for a person to be selected? What is the criteria?
Well, first, of course, they have to be attended the schools here in Caldwell County. That's the first main criteria. Other than that, they just need to be nominated, and like I say, they can live here, they can live wherever, and we just take that information, and the Hall of Honor committee sits down and looks at all those that are nominated, and then we make a selection. I think our board bylaws say we can select up to 6 a year, which is pretty tough to do sometimes, because getting 6 people in a banquet sometimes is kind of hard. But most of the time, it's around 5 that we will take in each year. But we look at all their past history and all the things that they've accomplished in their lives, and put that together to select them for the hall.
And we caught up the last year or so with COVID. We had to do some different things. Is that correct?
We did. Last year we had two inductees, 2 classes inducted in the same year. Kind of a tough night, but we changed some things up to make it work. So we did the 18th and 19th classes of the Hall of Honor, and had some wonderful people that went in. So hopefully this year we'll be doing that again later in 2022. We started out with this in the spring, but because of COVID we've had to adjust it, and now we are doing it in the fall.
And that's my next question. When is the next event for Hall of Honor?
The next event will be September 26, 2022. It will be at the J.E. Broyhill Civic Center. We do a meal, and everyone comes in, and families are invited, and it just makes it a really, a special fun night for them. Then we will introduce the inductees, and then they have a chance to speak and talk about a little bit about themselves. Most of it we try to have in the program and have already that information out, so they don't have to spend an hour, talking about all those kind of things, because we really don't have that kind of time to do. But we want them to highlight what their things that they did in their life, and really they talk about being in school here in Caldwell County and what it meant to them, which is very good. We enjoy that.
Now, if that's a September event and we're in April, why would we be talking about it this early?
Because right now is the time to nominate the people that you feel like would be good candidates to be in the Hall of Honor. So we need time to process that so that the committee can meet and get those candidates looked at. And I hate to call them candidates, but that's what it is. But we look at those that we think will have an opportunity to come in and discuss that with the committee and kind of narrow it down to the field that we feel like is the most qualified.
What do you think makes this so special?
I think it's so special because it is part of being Caldwell County Schools. I think it makes it that I'm proud to be a graduate of Caldwell County Schools, and I think the inductees are as well. So I think it's a chance to come back. It's a little bit different than other things are. You have to be a Caldwell County Schools attended schools here, be a graduate of the schools to be a chance to be in the Caldwell County Schools Hall of Honor. So I think that makes it very special.
What about in terms of a special moment for families as they're there, if they're able to be a part of that and see a family member that they love and care for being recognized? What is that like?
I think it's great. I think everyone that we have inducted over these 19 classes has been so excited, and they come back and thinking, wow, I think back to my days of going to Wenora High School or Hudson High School or Granite or Davenport or one of the schools in our system, and they bring back those great memories, and they get to think about that night, talk about it again, and bring it up because they all seem to go back to those days. They'll talk about their friends there, their teachers there, and the things that happened to them while they were in school. So I think that makes it the most special part of all.
Well, we appreciate your time today.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
And we'd like to let our viewers know that we have more information on our website in terms of nomination and the deadlines, and we hope that you will consider that. And we look forward to the nominees and the opportunity to go through the process of applications this year. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll stick with me through this break, and Shelley Boland will be with me when we return. Thanks for coming back. With me on the set now is Shelley Boland, Executive Director of Robin's Nest Child Advocacy Center. And I think before we get started, Shelley, tell our viewers what Robin's Nest is.
So Robin's Nest is a place where children come who have made an outcry of either physical or sexual abuse, mostly sexual abuse. And what we do is forensic interviews, child medical evaluations, therapy, advocacy, and we work with a multidisciplinary team to ensure that the cases are done in the most effective way. We do great work when we're siloed. We do even better work when we break those silos down. So that's what Robin's Nest does.
And a great organization for a purpose we wish we didn't have to have, but we're glad that it's here. Many board members represented across different aspects of life throughout the community. Like many other organizations, fundraising is very critical, and that's really what we want to talk about today. I want to talk about the Change for Children campaign, but there's some other fundraising that goes on with Robin's Nest too. Can you talk about that briefly?
Yes, so we just finished our annual Swing into Spring fundraiser. It was this past Saturday night, April 9th, and it was a wonderful success. Normally we have dancing couples competing, but this year it was post-COVID. We didn't want people to have to worry about trying to come up with a dance and all of that. We just wanted people to come out and have fun and fellowship for a good cause. So we had a couple bands, a great dinner, and a presentation, and it was wonderful.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. Tell me about the Change for Children campaign and particularly the role that the Caldwell County Schools have played. And then I want to talk a bit about partner agencies.
Okay, so the Change for Children campaign is a fundraiser that's run by the school system to benefit Robin's Nest. And I think the coolest part about Change for Children is that it's children who are giving to other children. They are not just giving to a cause overseas. They're giving to the child who sits next to them, potentially could be sitting next to them. A lot of them have come through Robin's Nest and they want to give to other kids who have gone through the same things that they have gone through. So it's raising the next generation of philanthropists and teaching them what it means to give to others and to be caring and compassionate. So I think that's probably the best thing about this fundraiser.
And you never know when you start something like that what kind of money you're going to raise. So we made a splash back, was it 2012?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how that's grown in terms of the amount of money that's been raised?
It's absolutely been phenomenal. So in 2010, we raised about $4,600. In 2019, right before COVID hit, we were at over $52,000. That's amazing. That is an amazing jump. And it's all our kids. It's a phenomenal thing to say about Caldwell County because it's unprecedented. We're not Raleigh-Durham, we're not Charlotte. We're Caldwell County, and that shows you what a caring and compassionate county that we are, that our kids are even giving.
Now, what about partner agencies? We talked about that briefly.
So the partner agencies that we work with, all the law enforcement agencies, Department of Social Services, the judicial system like guardian ad litem, Department of Juvenile Justice, and of course our DA's office. But we also partner with our school system. The same kids that we see are the kids that are coming to our classrooms. And so it's important for us to partner together and make sure that we're giving the best services to these kids and that we communicate in the most effective way to help our children and their families. And that's the beauty of the Child Advocacy Center because we're able to do that through the multidisciplinary team.
Now, for viewers watching and they don't have direct access to a child to give change to take to school, how can they contribute?
So they can go online. We will have our platform up and running as soon as the Change for Children begins. And maybe they went to South Caldwell High School. They could go to South Caldwell High School on our website and they can donate there. Anyone can donate to whichever school that you would like to, or simply to Robin's Nest.
How about just a quick review of services? And we talked about that a little bit in the introduction, but for viewers who may not, they probably have heard about it, don't know a whole lot about Robin's Nest, what would you say about services that are provided to your clients?
Well, the first thing I want to say is we have an amazing staff. They are a caring, compassionate, professional staff. And we do forensic interviews. That's done by a trained forensic interviewer where they speak to the child in a child-friendly manner that's not leading. It's sound as far as the judicial system goes, but it's also, it just allows that child to tell their story. That's basically what it is. We have child medical evaluations done by a specially trained medical provider who is rostered through the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. It's called the CME program, Child Medical Evaluation Program. And these are head-to-toe exams. There's no what we call ouchies. They're not going to get a shot. They're not going to have, it's not an invasive procedure. It's just a way for us to be able to check and make sure that child is okay and to reassure the child. We have trauma-focused therapy for our clients, which is extremely important. We often can't give promises as far as the judicial system goes, but we can certainly provide them hope and healing. And that's something we can do. We also do advocacy. So whatever that child and that family needs, we are there to help support them. We also go all the way through the court system. So from the time that they arrive until their case ends, we are there with them. That can take 2 or 3 years. And we try to give them whatever that they need in many different areas. And so those are the key services that we provide.
Well, it's critical, and it's so sensitive in terms of the nature of the work. And again, we don't want it to be there, but it has to be, and we're grateful for the way Robin's Nest handles that. Back to the Change for Children campaign, the dates that I have are the 25th of April through the 9th of May. And again, what could viewers expect to do or be? What are we asking them to do?
Just give money to either your schools. You can give it to your child. You can go online and donate. And any amount is important. For instance, there was a child who gave a quarter. That's all that the child had. And that became one of the most important donations that we received because that's what that child wanted to do. So it doesn't matter if it's a quarter or if it's $50. Every penny helps.
And we're all playing a role, hopefully, in protecting children and creating healthy environments. So thank you so much for what you do for Robin's Nest leadership in the community and taking care of our children. We're so grateful.
Thank you.
And I'd like to wrap up today just with an announcement from a board meeting last night, and that is that our school calendar has been adopted. We have a calendar for the traditional schools as well as our CASA and early college calendar. Take a look at that. You'll have an idea of beginning school dates, end of school dates, and then all the times in between. So that's available on our website for you to take a look at now so you can plan accordingly. Thank you for joining me. Hope this has been informative and look forward to seeing you next month.